We are faster than them, so that's okay. Thea, her A1 actually really rips them apart. Boom, look at that damage, man. That is insane. It's insane. Hi everyone, Nubkeks here, and welcome to part 2 of our Is Thea Good Now video. Today's part is going to be all about her in the arena. If you want to see how Thea now performs in terms of speed farming in dungeons, which is actually surprisingly good, you want to check out the first part of this video series. I had to split them into 2 because there's actually so much to cover. She's viable in so many sorts of teams now that I wanted to split into 2 different videos. This one's just arena. I hope that you enjoy. Okay, let's look at the arena now. Let's return to the comps. These are like, I think, good endgame comps with Thea in them. We'll come back to those in a second. I'm going to jump back to the blindingly white spreadsheet, okay? I meant to warn you and it popped up on the screen. I'm sorry about that. I want to talk about why would we use Thea? We're going to look at like a sample case saying that we have about 5,500 attack, and 240% crit damage. How does she compare to other champions? I'm sort of pacing this in, looking at her multipliers, books, all this sort of stuff, right? So when we look at Foley with these stats, how much does he do? How much does Foley do? Let's zoom it in a bit. Here we go. So Foley has a 4 times multiplier, which is a pretty standard multiplier on his AoE hit. He gets 15% damage from books, 14% from masteries. So if he does a normal hit, he hits a reaction accessory, yeah? He's going to do 28,000. About 29,000 damage. If he crits with this crit damage, he's actually going to do 98,000 damage, which is going to be, you know, this is before defense, but it's going to rip through most enemies, right? Most enemies. Thea, with no hexes, I copied the Thea bit. Thea has a 3.5 times attack multiplier, and she's got no damage from books. 14% from mastery. So on a normal hit, she's only going to do 22,000. On a critical hit, she's going to do 74,000, yeah? Trunda, why is Trunda so strong? Trunda has a double hitter for 3 times attack each, okay? So 6 times attack total. Also gives you 2 chances to bypass reaction, which is really good. She also gets 30% damage from books, along with the 14% from masteries. You can see Trunda's on another level, about 49,000 on a reaction hit, and 166,000 on a crit. So she's doing monstrous damage, and because it's a double hitter, she's got a good chance to hit through that reaction and get a crit anyway. It's two dice rolls to get through, which is pretty good. How does Thea with 4 hexes compare? Because this is pretty monstrous. This is what Thea with 4 hexes looks like. So she gets an extra 200% damage, so she jumps up to a 10.5 times damage multiplier, no damage from books. So against a reaction accessory, she's going to hit for 65,000 damage, and on a critical hit, she's going to hit for 220,000 damage. One really interesting thing about this, and hilarious thing about this, is that even factoring in defense, mitigation, it means that if you go up against another damage dealer, there's actually a really good chance that you just kill them, even if you hit them with a reaction hit. If you don't crit them, and you've got 4 hexes out, Thea might hit hard enough to just kill them anyway. She could kill a lot of champions with that sort of damage. For laughs as well, if we put in Ruel gives you an extra 10% damage against everyone with hex on them. Now she's going to hit for 72,000 and crit for 246,000 with these test stats, which is nutty. Yeah, so she's roughly, I'd say, about 35%. Let's actually say 33% stronger than Trunda. Trunda's base attack is a bit higher. So roughly 30 to 35%. Let's say 30. Let's be kinder to Trunda's base attack. But about 30% stronger than Trunda is Thea with 4 hexes, which is pretty nutty. Now let's jump in. Let's take a look at some of these teams, and let's see if we can make any of them work or if they're going to fall apart completely. So this should be curious. This should be an interesting test. So this is my sort of standard team here. What do we have going on? So with this team, I actually need to set up the AI. Good thing I checked. Kaimar, first of all, we're going to have Arbiters going to come in, increase attack, and fill our turn meter. Kaimar comes in, removes enemy buffs, and hopefully puts them all to sleep. Then they sleep through their turns. Ruel's going to come in. Ruel's going to put out Hex on everyone. And then Thea is very slow, but hopefully they take a turn, they sleep through it because of Kaimar, and she's able to then come in and Hex Reaper them and boom, blow them up. Couple of issues that we're going to run into here is that obviously Kaimar can weak hit red affinity enemies, and we're going to not put them asleep and they could take a turn. And I don't have any reaction accessories, so Thea might just get one shot. Like, for example, against this particular team, you know, if Canterfon doesn't fall asleep, he might just kill us. So that is definitely going to be an issue. The other issue with this team is that because Ruel is sort of built out in okay sort of damage stats, Ruel's accuracy is not that high. So if Ruel misses hexes, our damage falls off a lot more. The other sort of comp is just this comp, but we're switching the leads. So we're going to get more damage for less speed, which I think we will try against these guys. Then the other option here is I think probably going to be your best sort of endgame composition. And this is a trick, right? Because people are going to skip through the video and be like, oh, Vildrax, let's go build Vildrax. Now, Vildrax is in here to simulate Mithrala. So the idea is Kymar puts them to sleep, makes them miss a turn. Mithrala hexes them and puts increased attack. And then Thea blows them up. I think this is going to be actually a potentially very good endgame comp. And you've got a fourth slot as well for some extra tricks and stuff like that. So, I mean, super endgame. You could put in something like a Warlord. A Ramantu could also work really well. I don't know. I think there's a lot of options there with champions I don't have. Let's try it like this. Let's see if it works. We're going to go through a few arena fights. And, yeah, there's going to be no bullshit stuff. I'll show you the losses. So we need to be faster, and we are. Oh, I didn't set... Well, okay, I was going to say I didn't set up the sleep properly, but it doesn't matter. We just smashed through anyway. Look at that. Boom. I got really confused there, but it worked out just fine. We smashed through. We've got no way of dealing with Torment, so we can't do that. Oh, man, all these have Torment. We've got no way of dealing with Hegemon. We could fight this team, though. So this team, let me actually fix the AI. We were supposed to do the sleep. We were supposed to do the sleep with Kymar. Prince Kymar, please do this right. Thank you, Mr. Kymar. So this team will run the speed team. We will lose any fight that we don't outspeed them. So that's a potentially big issue. Okay, so here they're faster than us. We're just going to die. And there's nothing really we can do. Yeah, like Kymar lived because of reaction, but I don't have reaction on the others. So they just got destroyed. So that won't work. We need to outspeed them. That's a big downside of this team. But yeah, it's a big downside of a lot of teams. Let's go up against this team right here. So again, we've got Duchess reducing our damage. So for this one, we're going to be faster because they're running a resistance, or most likely faster. Watch us still be outsped by this Sifi. It's possible. Sifi's very quick. If we fail it, we'll go in again with the Arbiter in the lead. But this will give us the maximum sort of damage. Okay, we're faster. Kymar puts them to sleep. Hexes go out. Thea, boom! Okay, we hit him for 130k, but he had his damage reduction, unfortunately. Right, we come back in. Thea smacks them, and now Ruel is smacking. She might res them up again. No, she can't. And yeah, we're just going to blast through. I see, oh, she's got, this is the other thing, swift parry. You can see it on the Herndeg. This is something that Thea obviously can't handle, but then no nuker really can, is the swift parry. There's very few nukers in the game. That's part of why Rotos is so good, that ignore unkillable. So that's something we definitely have to face up to. This should be a very easy team. Let's see how this one goes. Actually, I'm lying. Rotos is going to get a go, isn't he? Yeah, let's see how this works. So Rotos is going to get a go. And Rotos is going to start doing Rotos bullshit. Oof, that hurt. Okay, boost up again. And he's actually run out of the Hex. Look at that. He's actually outrun the Hex. But he gets finished off right there. Yeah, Rotos, he's a beast. He's a beast. Let's look at this team, actually. This could be kind of interesting. So we're going up against this. We're going to see a Necret. Can we hit through a Necret with this team? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we can. And what I'm going to do as well, let's tweak this AI again. So I want Ruel to open with Stalk Prey, but let's prioritize Unleash the Hunt. We might have to take manual control. Because basically when Kymar resets him, Ruel's going to try to put Hex on again no matter what. Which might not necessarily be what we want. Ah, they're faster than us, so we're going to die. That is truly unfortunate. You're hoping that they're not speed tune. Oh, okay, we lived through it. He didn't actually do enough damage to kill Arbiter. Don't wake him up. He woke him up. I think we're dead, team. I think we're dead. I mean, we could Hex them, but what's the point? Maybe. We'll go for the Hex, sure. He killed Arbiter. Mistakes were made. Okay, let's see. Can Ruel finish them off? Probably not, but we'll give it a go. Go on, Ruel. Maybe Ruel can do it. Maybe I spoke too soon. Ruel, get a turn before she does. Shoot her. Good job. It's not a bad team. We got outsped there by Arbiter Necret, and we were able to pull it back. Let's try this one. Tanky team. Ooh, look at us. We so tanky, defense-based. This is probably why we're outsped. Did I send in the wrong team? I think I did. Did I? I think I did. We want this team. Did I send in the wrong aura lead? Yeah, I think so. Again, we'll do the same thing. Open with Stalk Prey, but then go into Unleash the Hunt. Okay, maybe I had the wrong team. No wonder we got outsped. Outsped by my own stupidity. We're faster this time. That's good. Go to sleep. Hex goes out. We didn't hex all of them, but we hexed most of them. Bam! And Thea nukes them down. She just hits so hard, man. She hits so hard. I think that's just really fun and exciting. This is a pretty nasty one. Let's try this one. This is pretty nasty because, again, we got Rotos and Candrafon. So 2 ways this can go horribly wrong. Okay, we slept him. That's good. Thea didn't do Hex Reaper? Yo, Thea, why did you not do Hex Reaper? What is going on? You saucy... She didn't do a Hex Reaper, right? Her A1 still hits pretty hard. That was weird. That was weird. Okay, so AI tweak again. Let's do one more refresh. We can't fight some of them. Let's try this team. This team might be super quick. That was weird. Okay, so I guess you want to go in and you want to prioritize with her Hex Reaper. I think maybe because some of them were in stealth or something. Maybe she didn't see enough hexes. Kind of strange. Kind of very strange. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just do that, and we'll tweak this team as well, just in case. But yeah, you get the idea, right? You get the idea. We'll try this one. Hopefully we're fast enough to win. Yeah. Now, without Prince Kaimar, can you do it? I'll actually show you a team that would do it as well. So actually, let me leave this battle. Oh, no, don't. Okay, I thought we were going to win. Luckily, Skullcrown lived through it. What was that team? So, if you don't have Prince Kaimar, which you probably don't, you could run a team. This is actually, ironically, has been the team I have been running. You could run a speed team because it's 4 different affinities. So this team is not going to deal as well with reaction, but you have the potential that Thea is going to hit through it. It's also not exactly speed tuned, so we might fall apart anyway. But you would basically want to set it up so you got Arbiter boosts. Then you have another turn meter booster. So Apothecary, in this case Lanicus, whatever. You could put someone like that in. Another really good one would be, what's her name? Lysandra, all that sort of stuff. Then Ruel hexes, Thea nukes. And yeah, that's sort of the idea right there. I'm not sure if this one's going to work because we might not be fast enough because Thea's very slow. Okay, we put the hexes on. Now Thea comes in. Bam, absolutely destroys them. So this sort of team just tries to run them over. And I think one way that this might actually work is that, yeah, you're super, super vulnerable to reaction accessories, but obviously a lot of players are not going to have reaction accessories. And even if they do have reaction, you might simply do enough damage to kill them anyway. Let's try it against this. Again, if they're faster than us, we're going to be dead, is the consistent theme here. We are faster than them, so that's okay. Thea, her A1 actually really rips them apart. Boom. Boom. Look at that damage, man. That is insane. It's insane. So yeah, like I said, this sort of team comp, Ruel and Thea, actually worked just fine before. There's not much that has changed here apart from the option to put Thea as the leader. And then the other sort of nice thing that has changed is that basically Ruel's Unleash the Hunt is now going to be usable. Before, Ruel would just put out Hex, but then Thea ate it up. Now the Hex persists, so Ruel can still do that. And also Ruel's passive is debuffing them with the Hex. So there we go. That was a look at Thea the Tomb Angel. Is she good now? Yeah, I actually think Thea's a really solid champion now. Is she the best nuker in the game? No, I wouldn't say so, no, because she does need setup, right? But she's a really strong option. So for speedrunning dungeons, this new Hex comp, I'm going to revisit this, by the way. When I get Mithrala, you can bet your butt I'm 70 out of 100 fragments right now. When we get Mithrala, can we see her abilities? I'm not sure how you get to it from there. You can bet I'm going to be back to look at this again because she comes in on a 3-turn cooldown, gives you AoE Hex with increased attack and a pretty big smacking damage hit as well. You can bet I'll be back to see how she does. And she brings poisons for like the dragon, the ice golem. It's pretty exciting to me. I think Thea's a very good option, though. I think it takes more work. So you're more dependent on gear, right? She needs Savage gear, really. She needs Savage gear. She needs good stats to be able to pull this off. But can she be in speed farm teams for dungeons? For some of these dungeons? For potion keeps, that sort of thing? Yes, she absolutely can. It's probably more work to make it work than a seer composition. But Thea's a guaranteed champion. Mithrala is a guaranteed champion eventually, right? These are champions you will one day for sure get. You might never, it might take you ages to get a seer. It might take you, almost definitely take you longer to get Poison Explosion because you have to pull legendaries for that. For a seer comp to really work, you have to use Kymar. This gives you an option for a speed team that's based around guaranteed champions and Renegade, who's a void rare. And that's a pretty big deal. And she's also absolutely claps in arena. There's no question. She's a very good arena champion. Again, I feel like she does combo well with Ruel. You saw that today. It's a good combo. It is. It works. I feel like she's going to be best later in the game with Prince Kymar, but that's sort of the problem for every nuker because reaction is a problem for every nuker in the game. It's just something you got to deal with. Yeah. Reaction and swift parry. It's just something you got to deal with. Another problem with this sort of hex composition is going to be Stone Skin, right? Kymar can come in and help you by stripping off the Stone Skin potentially. So that's something he does as well. So in the arena, it's a bit harder to make work. But once again, when you get that Mithrala, then you're coming in and you again have some very powerful options. Certainly in lower level arena where reaction and Stone Skin are not going to be as prevalent. She's a monster. She absolutely rips through. She hits harder than Trunda, 30% harder than Trunda. She absolutely smashes people. And hilariously, she actually smashes people so hard that if you can land those hexes, and while Ruel can be a little bit dodgy because Ruel you need to build for accuracy, but Mithrala you will be building with mega high accuracy anyway. With Mithrala, she's gonna smack. She's gonna do it, you know? She's absolutely gonna do it. She could possibly kill people just straight through reaction. No problem. So that's Thea. I think she's good. I think Thea is good now. She's solid. She's definitely worth checking out. She's worth investigating. And most importantly, she's a hell of a lot of fun. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time for more. Bye-bye.